as promised, it's time to look at the front pages for you. Well, the state of the Naira and security makes it to the front pages this morning. Let's see how our sister publication is reporting its front page. To stem Naira's continuing decline, CBN clears another $500 million FX backlog. Tinubu transfers crude oil revenue receipts from NNPCL to CBN. Move aimed at ensuring transparency as well as accountability. The lead photograph for this day this morning is that of the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, and the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. This is what the story to that picture says. Obi commiserates with Makinde over Ibadan explosion. In the yellow window this morning, Atiku, Makinde trade words over Ibadan explosion. Obi visits state as Afenifere consoles governor and victims. So there's this back and forth. Makinde apparently says he was disappointed that Atiku, his leader, considering he's still in the PDP, you recall the whole G5 issue. Yep. He's accusing Atiku of not visiting or even writing to condole with him and his state concerning the explosion. But apparently Atiku is making a statement here because there's a back and forth. They're trading words over that explosion. So it's a good story to pick up and read up. What did Atiku say? I don't have the details yet. Oh, okay, I also have to read the story, but that's what the headline is saying here. But as at yesterday, when the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party visited, I recall that the governor of Oyo State was blaming Atiku for not being a leader, which he's supposed to be, of his party. On face value. Yeah.
Without having heard what Atiku said. Yes, on face value.
Yes. And now
for the Labour Party to have visited.
Indeed.
And the candidate of the PDP, who is
supposedly his leader,
hasn't visited.
Yes. Well,
that doesn't.
Indeed. So this day is covering, it doesn't. This day is covering the entire angle this morning with their words being traded. But let's see other stories on the front page. Nigeria expresses sadness over decision of Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali to exit ECOWAS. And Tinubu Buhari congratulate Cardinal Onoyekan on his 80th birthday is another story on the front page there. But the bold headline above the masthead, security, constitution amendment, electoral reforms top agenda as lawmakers resume plenary today. Lament state of the nation, abduction, murder of innocent citizens. It should concern them indeed. Well, that's the front page of this day.
Let's look at The Guardian. It's a single-use plastics ban in Lagos. Business shop for alternatives. Advocate incentivize recycling. Well, I'm looking at this bottled water. Doesn't mean you can't use bottled water again to... they can't use bottled water. I'm just looking at it and I'm wondering, is that what it means? And what alternatives are there? Well, 2,423 people killed, 1,872 kidnapped in 8 months under the present administration. Ogun State, from rising industrial hub to den of cultists and criminals. EFCC arraigns impeached Ogun speaker over alleged 2.5 billion Naira fraud. Money supply grows by 50% in just 12 months, compounding inflation. Nigeria, Ghana lead. I thought it was going to be about football, but I just remember that Ghana is gone from AFCON. Nigeria, Ghana lead West Africa's identity fraud cases.
Well, the Vanguard is leading this morning with security or insecurity, as you will put it. Kidnappers shoot at moving vehicle. Man abducted, wife injured, kidnapped 3 victims praying at Kamo Mountain in Abuja. No fear, even for prayers, right? FCT Police, SRS, that's the Special Intervention Squad, rescue victims at Kuje Forest, Gwagwa Hills. We arrested 139 kidnappers and rescued 154 victims in 2 weeks. And that's according to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. So the police is also in action there. That story portrays. The ECOWAS story also made it to the front of the Vanguard this morning. We are ready to engage Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, says the federal government. Exit compromise trade, delay return to civil rule, says Professor Akinyemi and Akintarinwa, as well as others. Above the masthead this morning, $20 billion Dangote refinery to import crude from United States. Find out why. Same-sex blessings. Africans are a special case, but everyone will gradually accept, says Pope Francis. Makinde Atiku at war over Ibadan explosion. That's the front page of the Vanguard for you.
Let's look at leadership. Leadership, its lead story. Well, okay, let's start with the Supreme Court verdict. No deal with presidency. This is the Kano Governor Abba Yusuf is saying that. Tenure limit. Bank, insurance chiefs dodge regulatory acts with some riders there. Create holding companies to retain power and influence. They are building supermen, not institutions. This is coming from experts. Is to expand operations and revenue streams. Let's look at some other stories there. Let's start with the top mast. AFCON. Pesero wants Eagles against complacency. I was just reading something earlier, Ron, about sports, and the guy was saying now that the Senegal are out, that is coasting to victory for Eagles. And somebody replied, what? Don't you know this is football? Did you think Ivory Coast will beat Senegal? So here's, other warning Eagles against complacency when they face Angola, the Palancras Negros. Shetima seeks help on job creation and food security. CBN warns forex traders against misreporting transactions. Let's look at some other stories. Governor Sule disowns Mieti Allah vigilante outfit. INEC conducts rerun by-elections in 26 states on Saturday. Gunmen at Tita gang killed 2 traditional rulers in Ekiti State. Explosive kills 7 farmers, injures 7 others in Borno. What a sad story there. And that's it for the leadership. Forgive
me, have we had the punch yet?
No, this is
okay, so
punch.
Let's have the punch.
I didn't see it initially.
Great, okay. It's also leading with, Punch seems to have stayed on this story, what they term the kidnapping epidemic. And this morning they're reporting that over 17,000 Nigerians have been abducted under Buhari Tinubu, according to their report. They say Buhari 90% of the 17,000 and under Tinubu 10%. How abductors killed 2 Ekiti monarchs. That's another exclusive there in the Punch this morning. But you have on the front page the federal government and the U.S. signing an MOU to train police special squad commanders. And you have a handshake depicting that MOU with a representative from the U.S. and the Nigerian Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun there. We wait to see what this MOU will translate to in real terms for security of the people's lives and property. But other stories on the very busy front page of the Punch this morning. Lawmakers accuse Fubara of unlawful conduct. Governor wants pro-Wike appointees. It's a new day, a new challenge in Rivers State. It's like a movie in that state.
Unfolding every second.
I wonder how the governor, it's a long time to go, 4 years.
And they're not, I don't know what to say, they're not allowing him to do the work of governance. He should be let to do the work of governance as far as most people are concerned.
Indeed. Bribery. Lagos Commissioner of Police probes DPO. What we live for. That's what we want to see. Accountability and transparency in the police. Naira falls to all-time low at official market. Sells at 1,348 Naira to the dollar. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger exit may weaken $277 billion ECOWAS trade. That's according to another report. And that's the front of the Punch for you.
And I'm starting here with, this is Nigerian Tribune. Exactly what you said. I've been thinking about it. Nigerian Tribune. It says, Forex backlog. Experts weighing as CBN releases $500 million to various sectors. It says Naira hits record low of 1,348.63 to the dollar. And it says at official market, and I was thinking to myself, is this a mistake? They don't want to say parallel market, but they said official is scandalous, really. Impeached Ogun Speaker, others arraigned over alleged 2.5 billion naira fraud. Suspected kidnappers killed 2 traditional rulers. Again, a bad story. Rulers in Ekiti State. That's for Tribune.
And I think we can flip to the foreign papers this morning. The Guardian UK. Dismay as household face £2 billion council tax increase. Israel hits site in Syria as regional tensions rise. And you have the picture there of King Charles III, the British monarch, finally out of hospital. He grants a wave and a smile with his wife, Queen Camilla, right by his side as he walks out of the hospital there.
The I newspaper. Cameron to warn that UK facing biggest threat since the Cold War. Let's just get one or two of the riders here. Former PM will warn of new dangers in democracy at risk of conflict spreading in his first major speech since returning as Foreign Secretary against the backdrop of heightened global tensions.
And here is the Daily Express this morning. Yes, the Daily Express does also feature the photograph members of the royal family on its front page. The tabloid says the Princess of Wales was discharged from private London clinic following her successful abdominal surgery on 16th of January, and says that Kate is now heading home to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor, where she will continue her recovery with her husband, Prince William, and their 3 children. The Express lead story, however, focuses on a new fast-track NHS test, which it says will save lives.
The Daily Telegraph. The Daily Telegraph, just that same picture there of the King Charles III and Queen Camilla coming out of the hospital after a successful surgery. Farmers lay siege to Paris with vow to cut off food. Capital only has supplies for 3 days as tractor protest blocks main roads into the city. And one more story here. Biden draws up plans for Iran revenge strikes, but Iran is saying we did not do this.
And the Financial Times this morning. Well, you see that picture there, the Tower 22 military base in Northeast Jordan is on the front of the Financial Times. That's the location where 3 U.S. soldiers were killed in a drone strike. Well, the paper notes that the White House says the U.S. is not looking for a war with Iran, while Tehran has distanced itself from the strike as Republican pressure builds on Joe Biden to respond. What a dilemma. Now, the lead story focuses on gambling group Flutter, which owns Paddy Power, on plans to quit the UK's FTSE 100 index by moving its main listing to New York.
Let's look at the Sun, and probably this will be the last. This is quite, it says exclusive. Man United chalk. He passed out at 3 a.m. Cup acts after Bender Rashford struck out tequila party before calling in sick. Just a little of the story. It says Marcus Rashford went on a 12-hour tequila bender before passing out at 3 a.m. then called in sick hours later. The Manchester United striker 26 was asked for last Saturday's FA Cup tie at Newport County after missing training following 2 days of boozing in Belfast. What's happening to Marcus Rashford? And that's I guess, the end of the stories. Or do we have time for one or two more?
I guess we can call it a wrap.
One more.
Okay, we can have one more. Let's see what we have. The Mirror. Simply put, home to recover.
Yeah.
The royal family, King Charles III and Princess of Wales, left the hospital on the same day as pictured there on the front page.
It's interesting. Two of them go on surgery and they leave the hospital safe. We'll wish them well. All right, that'll be the press review. Let's hear your views on all the burning issues. Follow us on X at Rise TV.